We are live here getting ready to rock and roll for Game 14 against the Piedra Vista Panthers and the Pueblo West Cyclones. It's an exciting game we've all been waiting for, and here's how our lineups are going to shake out. Pueblo West is the visiting team. They're in the black jerseys, in Columbia blue numbers and white pants. Piedra Vista in all white with the white hats. And leading off for Pueblo West is number 12, Joe Mendoza. Hitting second, number 18, Blake Maris. Hitting third, number 25, Javian Baca. Hitting cleanup, number 10, Logan King. Hitting fifth, number 21, Caden Garcia. Hitting sixth, number 2, Gavin Hansen. Hitting seventh, number 8, Cam Marez. And hitting eighth is number 28, Keegan Tack. Hitting ninth, number 5, Alex Slauson.
And defensively for the Piedra Vista Panthers is going to be out on the mound today. It's going to be Flynn Hoops. And behind the dish, number 10, Cade Aragon. Over on first base is going to be number 2, J.W. Bayless. On second base, number 5, Cody Cluxton. And over on third will be number 6, Kyle Murphy. At shortstop is going to be number 13, Elias Barton. Out in left field, number 8, Tyler Swartz. And in center field is going to be number 7, Mason Courtney. And out in right field is going to be number 3, Trapper Page. And we are in for a game this evening as we got to see Pueblo West take on Farmington last night. And holy cow, Pueblo West came out, and we talked to their coach on Thursday, and he talked about their struggles. You know, they only had a few games, and they were a young team, and they kind of had a rough game on that first day. They lost, I believe, and I think they played not Farmington.
Pueblo West, they did. Lost 4-0.
Bloomfield? Was it Bloomfield?
I thought they lost 4-0 to
Grants, that's right. But then last night when they came out and played Farmington, we saw a completely different team. I mean, they came out and they were fired up. They got their bats going. You know, like when we watched them play against Grants, they had one inning where they left 3 runners stranded, but they had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They stranded 7 runners out on base, and they were having a hard time making anything happen. But turn the page to last night, and holy cow, they put together a game.
Well, that shows a team that understands the situation. They don't press, come out. Hey, this is what we're here for. We're here to see what we're made of. We're here to see who can play where, who can pitch, who can work themselves out of a situation. And it's not an easy thing when you're going up the the current state champs and the Grants Pirates, and then you flip side to that, you go up against Farmington Scorpion team, who, in all rights by themselves, is a top-level 5A team here in New Mexico. But that shows yourself and your team that you know how to level up in play, and that's what they did last night.
Yes, and then you've got the Piedra Vista Panthers. So Grants is who beat Pueblo West 4-0 in that first game, comes and plays PV yesterday, and PV takes them down 7-1. And PV is they're kind of firing on all cylinders. They've got a lot of depth at pitching. They've got super fast kids. They're a young team, but man, they are solid. I mean, you got J.W. Bayless, you got Trapper Page, you got Flynn Hoops, you've got Schwesper that can come out and pitch. You got a lot of kids, a lot of depth on this team. And we're going to go ahead and get started as it's coming fast. We got number 12, Joe Mendoza, the second baseman, now up at the plate for Pueblo West. And he's going to take a swing at that first pitch, and it will be strike 1.
Well, if you're Coach Corrali for PV, Stephen, how ecstatic are you when you've got 2 excellent left-handed pitchers, and J.W. Bayless, who's going to be your number 1, and Flynn Hoops is going to be your number 3. Both lefties, and both can throw extremely hard. Well, I thought he was going to call a strike there, but he calls it a ball.
And not to mention that Flynn Hoops, Trapper Page, those kids are fast. Well, you got Mason Courtney. There's a lot of fast kids on this team on the base path, and PV just having a lot of success right now.
Well, here's what Joe Mendoza did yesterday, or we should say last night in the Farmington game. He was 1 for 1, 3 walks, 3 runs scored, so he can make things happen when he gets on base, and we're quite familiar with that on the other side of the coin when you get Mason Courtney up to bat and he gets on. There's a big shot to Courtney out in center field. Just moseys on over
Speaking
there.
of Mason Courtney, he will get the F8 out number 1 as Joe Mendoza just hits a line drive out into center field. So next up, number 18, Blake Matez, the center fielder for the Cyclones.
And Matez in his game last night against the Farmington Scorpions, if I can find it, I apologize. He was 1 for 3 with the run scored. So he's going to be facing the left-hander and Flynn Hoops. There's a fastball on the outer half of the plate for ball 1. So, you know, Piedra Vista comes in here. They were looking to host their own tournament. Mother Nature had a different idea for them on that. It was quite disappointing for all the teams that were involved, but they still got a game in on Saturday down in Bloomfield. There's a swing and a foul ball. Takes the count to 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. And, you know, they're going to have a great time this week, and then it's probably maybe a couple of days on the field, maybe in the cage, and then they're headed down to Phoenix.
And our first comment on Facebook comes in from Michael Page. Let's go PV. Michael Page from Amarillo, Texas. Good to hear from you, Michael.
A lot of people from Amarillo,
Yes.
Texas. I love that.
Yeah.
My niece and nephew live in Amarillo, Texas.
Yep, so Michael's been a faithful getting on watching the games, and we appreciate you messaging in and letting us hear from you. We love hearing from the fans, so keep those coming. Even on YouTube, we've got the comments available, the live chat on YouTube as well. We had a lot of comments last game. So if you want to put a comment on YouTube, we're watching YouTube and Facebook, and Albert's got his phone, 505-701-2222.
Looks like we got this game started right on time, right at 5 o'clock. So let's see what the Cyclones can come up with facing the left-hander in Flynn Hoops. He's got some sneaky off-speed pitches that he can dive into his toolbox for. And he's going to have to come up with one here because it's a full count. He comes set, working out of the stretch. Fastball swung on and fouled off. And if you're Matez, you are kind of kicking yourself on that one because you're probably not going to see another fastball go over the heart of the plate again.
Yeah, and it's like in this situation, if it's close, you got to be swinging.
Yeah,
So
do not leave it up to the umpires. And umpires will tell you that. Don't leave it up to me to call you out, you know?
yeah.
They'll tell you that straight up. High fly ball out into right field, and moseying on over is Trapper Page, who will haul it in for the F9 out number 2.
It's got to be one of the fastest outfields in the state out there. Trapper Page, Courtney, and Swartz over here in left field. So you're going to have to hit something probably a little bit lower line drive out in a gap to keep it away from these guys.
Well, if you even think about it further, Flynn Hoops plays in the outfield. You got Zach Swesper, who played right field last night for the Piedra Vista Panthers. I mean, pick your poison out there.
Just so much depth on this team. It's just crazy, you know. Like a lot of times you kind of know the starting players, but I mean PV, there's just a lot. There's a lot of players that get in and out of these games that can be on the field. I joked about it yesterday, but it's almost like he's got 2 starting varsity teams right here on his varsity. So that one's gonna be low for ball 2.
It's a problem, but it's a good problem.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So 2-0 the count. 2 outs, Javian Baca, the shortstop at the plate. He's going to swing and hit that. Oh, and it gets by Cluxton, and it will make its way out into right field. So that'll be a base hit for Javian Baca as he will get things going for the Cyclones.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, number 10, Logan King. And Logan King, in last night's game.
Oh, he had a great game. He pitched.
He did. He was 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs, was King.
I became a fan of his last night. He pitched a good game.
So the wind picking up. Wind is picking up here.
The Aragon said, let's go PV, get some. And Kenny also said, Albert, your voice is muffled.
Yep, I've been told I was too loud, so I pulled the mic away from my mouth. Now I'm told I'm not loud enough, and that's one thing you never hear from about me is I'm not loud enough.
You never hear somebody say Albert's not loud enough. Well, hopefully it gets better. You got that mic turned towards his mouth, so that one is going to be ball 1 to Logan King as he has a runner on first and 2 outs.
Here we go. A text message coming in from Mike and Anna Murphy. Let's go, PV. Watching Kyle Murphy from Aztec tonight, and so thankful we can. Well, we're thankful you folks can too here on Desert Sports Live.
Always good to hear from my buddy Mike Murphy. That guy is amazing. I'm just going to say it.
He is. Dude. And Kenny texts me. He says, man, I can't hear you. I got you, pal. I'm here. So big shot, foul ball, big hack. So 2 balls, 1 strike is the count on the designated hitter in King. Baca standing over at first base after a base hit that got past the diving Cluxton second baseman for Piedra Vista. And Flynn Hoops hopefully can draw a ground ball here and get a double play ground ball out number 3. But battling up at the plate is King, and now we're tied up at deuces. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. So here we go. Hoops comes set. Looks at the runner at first, keeping him pretty close over there. There's a ground ball. This could do it here. He's got to take it himself.
Yep, Elias Barton just scoops it up. Nice little play. Made it look effortless. That thing was coming 100 miles an hour. And he just picks that thing up for the unassisted. Out number 3 is Elias Barton. Picks the ball up, steps on second base. And we had no runs on 1 hit, no runners left on base, and no PV errors. So after the top of the first, the score is 0-0. And I think Corey said the sound sounding good on our end. Kenny, I hope it got better. If it was muffled, but
could be the cell phone. Who knows? But here you go. Here's your offensive lineup for the Piedra Vista Panthers. Leading off, number 7, Mason Courtney. Hitting second, number 3, Trapper Page. Hitting third, number 4, Flynn Hoops. Hitting fourth in cleanup, number 6, Kyle Murphy. Hitting fifth, number 5, Cody Cluxton. Hitting sixth, number 2, J.W. Bayless. Hitting seventh, number 10, Cade Aragon. Hitting 8th is 8, Tyler Swartz, and hitting 9th is number 13, Elias Barton.
And defensively for the Pueblo West Cyclones, we have number 8, Cam Marez is on the mound, and behind the dish is going to be number 28, Keegan Tack. Over at first base is going to be number 2, Gavin Hansen. At second base is going to be number 12, Joe Mendoza. At third base is going to be number 22, Trace Humphrey. And at shortstop, number 25, Javian Baca. Out in the outfield, we have number 21, Caden Garcia. And in center field, we have Blake Marez. And at right field, we have number 5, Alex Slauson. And we got a comment here on the YouTube page. It says, "Let's go Cyclones, you got this." And I got to pull this up. Shout out to our grandson, Jojo Mendoza, number 12, Nan and Papa.
The leadoff hitter.
The leadoff hitter. Well, here you go, Nan and Papa. He's got his first opportunity at the plate for the Cyclones.
Actually, he had his first opportunity, and he flew out to center
I
field, but we got you.
Yes.
We knew what you meant. It's Mason Courtney, the center fielder, stepping up, and both center fielders for each team, the leadoff hitters for their respective teams. And Mason will dig in. And what Mason Courtney did last night in his game, he had a little bit of a tough night. He was 0 for 3, but he scored a run.
There's our buddy Chris Douglas saying, "Let's go, Cade." It was good talking to Chris this morning. Appreciated all his great compliments that he gave us. And
I'm glad he came to talk to you because I sure didn't hear from him.
Well, he caught me downstairs, and it was good talking to you, Chris. And then we got Brooke Barton. Let's go, PV, watching from Albuquerque. Elias' little sister is playing in a softball tournament. Thanks for streaming and appreciate it. There's a hit to the shortstop. Oh, and that's going to be E6. And Mason Courtney, once again, gets things started for his Panthers. as he will be on first base.
Javian Baca, the shortstop, just waited on that ground ball again. Sat down on it, waited for it to come to him, and it hopped up on him in the last second. You just work a half step through that ground ball, and you field that properly out in front and make it over to first base. But now Mason, watch what happens when he's on base. It's Trapper Page, the right fielder, hitting in the 2 spot. Big swing. He'll foul that out of the field of play. That count will go no balls and 1 strike. You know, this Pueblo West team, Stephen, the catcher for the Cyclones in Keegan Tack, he has got a strong arm down to second base. And surely this team has scouted them yesterday and the day before, knowing that they were going to play them. They all knew who they were going to be playing before they got here. There's Mason sliding in safely at first, but that was a save by Gavin Hansen, the first baseman, because if he misses that, or he even knocks that off to the side of him over at first, and he is off to the races to second. We certainly know how fast Mason Courtney is. Here's a pitch, off speed, up high for ball 1.
And you know, we've been talking about this all day. That when a pitcher takes that long delivery, it gives that person a chance to steal, and that is not the case with Cam Mata. He doesn't hardly pick up that front foot, and he's throwing the ball home. And so you got to be extremely quick if you're going to steal against Cam here.
That's just great coaching and awareness by the player, knowing the situation. I can't have a high leg kick. I've got to have the quick move down to home plate. So, I mean, that's a smart pitcher up there on the mound. Oh, did that hit him? That hit everybody. That hit the umpire, and they might have to give him a timeout to walk it off for a second, because that bit him big time.
Yeah.
You can see him.
Ooh.
I mean, he is hurting bad, the umpire. Let's hope he's all right, because that got him a good one. We'll be able to see it here on the replay, as it's a little bit of a delay, but I am telling you, that hit him good. Hopefully he's all right. It fouled off the bat of Page, then it hit the catcher, then it hit the umpire, but I'm not sure where it hit him.
He's saying it hit him inside his right leg right there, kind of on that.
Yep,
the thigh.
there it is. Hit him right there.
Yeah.
Boy, and that is a tough spot to get hit by the ball, and it's coming off hot off the bat.
Our buddy Martin Bayless. Let's go, Stephen and Albert. You know, we need some encouragement. We are coming down to the wire here. It's been a long 3 days, but thank you for that, Martin. We are going to get through it, I think. And there's a hit to the third baseman. He scoops it up, gets it over to first. Gets over to second. Cannot get it over to first, and that's going to be the 5-3 out to number 1, as he will get Courtney at second base on the fielder's choice.
So Page still will stand over at first base. Excellent defensive slide by Mason. He did not allow the second baseman to receive the ball from the third baseman, and Mendoza got slid into by Mason. A beautiful defensive slide for Courtney. And here comes Flynn Hoops.
Strike 1.
He is the pitcher for today's game with 1 out, no score, and Hoops looks at an 0-1 count. I'm a little surprised this umpire is allowing Murphy to be that close. He's not.
I know
he's nowhere in the box.
He is way out there, isn't he? That is interesting.
So here we go. No balls, 2 strikes, and quick work by Mares on the mound, not wasting any time throwing strikes. Comes a pitch down in the dirt. See if he can get him to chase one. Flynn Hoops holds tight.
Well, I'm with you. I would think if you were the other coach, you would want to have the umpire say something, because that could be a distraction for your pitcher, him being that far out there. But they're allowing it, so Murphy's out there getting a good look at these pitches.
Here comes the pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman. Fielded out front. Gets it over to second, and I think it's in time for the double play, and it is. It's a ground ball double play out, inning out for Flynn Hoops, and that'll do it for the inning. 4-6-3, double play out. And
Wow, so good job by the Cyclones as PV had a good start there. Mason Courtney gets on base. Looked like they could get something going, but it was 3 up, 3 down, and no runs, no hits, no runners left on base, and no errors.
Well, you know what it was, Stephen? We hadn't heard from Grandpa, Cade's grandpa yet. That was the problem.
Oh, that's
now,
right.
Guess who just texted us? Cade's grandfather texts in and says, "Go Panthers, Grandpa checking in."
All right, it's always good to hear from Grandpa over there in Arizona, as we've always enjoyed getting to hear from him and getting to talk to him when we go to Phoenix. Unfortunately, we're not going to be there this year. We had the 2 tournaments the last week's tournament and this week's tournament here, which for us is a good thing because it's pretty expensive to travel, and we just can't continue to do that unless we can find sponsors to do it. Anyhow, it's just a lot of work for us, but we were able to get a lot of games in. We would have got more in last week, but the weather didn't allow it, and this week we're getting a lot in. And once again, folks, we are streaming on YouTube. We see a lot of you getting on there, and we're hearing from all the fans that that's the place to go. If you got a big screen TV, just pull up the YouTube app and pull it up on at Desert Sports Live on YouTube. We also are on Facebook Live. We're on NFHS and on our website at desertsportslive.com. Also follow us on Instagram and our new business page on Facebook at Desert Sports Live, and you can
it's a mouthful, isn't it?
and X. Yes, we're on X as well. So follow us on all our social media and subscribe on YouTube. It will really help us out down the road.
We're set to go. It is 5, 6, and 7 up to bat for Pueblo West. It's Garcia, Hansen, and Mares. And so Garcia will step in at the plate from the right-hand side of the box. Garcia, I believe this is Caden, right?
Caden Garcia.
He was 1 for 4 in the game last night against Farmington.
So that one's fouled off for strike 1, 0-1 count, and we are starting at the top of the second inning. Score remains 0-0, and we expect this one to be a good one. Come down, probably might even come down to the wire. So that one's in there for strike 2.
Well, I certainly like the way this umpire calls his strikes. He don't waste any time giving us a strike call. You got to like that.
We had to wait for him last game.
So here we go, 0 to the count for Hoops. Trying to punch him out, and Aragon gets it right back to the pitcher, so that tells me it was out of the zone for ball 1. 1 and 2 is the count. So here we go. Let's see what Hoops can do here. He's got another waste pitch if he would like to see if he could get him to chase it, or does he go right at him? They go right at him. I think he missed his spot on that one, obviously.
I agree. That one went a little bit too far outside. I think he was trying to hit that outside corner, but went a little bit too far outside.
2-2 now on the count with Garcia taking on Hoops. Big curveball and got him.
That was a nice looking pitch. So strike 3 out, number 1. Next up, Gavin Hansen, the first baseman, number 2.
Beautiful backdoor curveball, started way outside, cut right across the plate on the right-handed swinger with the left-handed pitcher, and Aragon trying to get something worked out over there behind the plate. I don't know if his glove snapped or what's going on here, but he's set to go. Whatever it was, he's got it figured out, and it's Gavin Hansen, the first baseman, now up to bat. He's hitting the 6th spot. And in last night's game, Hansen was 1 for 3, but he got 2 runs scored for his team.
That one, did you see that one, Corey? That one looked pretty good to me, but
I didn't see the placement on that one.
You'll be able to
I should have been watching the screen because that one looked pretty good. That one was a strike. Yeah, we're still a little bit behind, aren't we?
We must be. It's been on that screen for quite some time now. There's a pitch swung on and fouled off, so it takes the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I see why Corrali's upset.
Yeah, that was a good looking pitch. We saw it on the the delay we're watching on the stream up here, and it's a little bit delayed. And yeah, that one looked good that he called the ball. So that one's going to hit back to Hoops. He will scoop it up, get it over for the 1-3 out number 2. So we will have the pitcher, number 8, Cam Marez, now stepping up to the plate for the Cyclones. Let's see, whoops.
With 2 outs, the pitcher, Cam Marez, will step up, and let's see if he got some at-bats himself. He did.
Oh, good job by Barton. Gets that one scooped up. 6-3 out, number 3. So 3 up, 3 down. Hoops doing his job. He's throwing the pitches like he's supposed to be. The ball's getting put in play. The defense is doing their job behind him. And PV looking good here to start the game as no runs, no hits, no runners left on, and no PV errors. And we'll be heading into the bottom of the second where it will be 4, 5, and 6. Kyle Murphy, Cody Cluxton, and J.W. Bayless.
Oh, you see the umpire behind the plate still limping after taking that shot on the inner half of the thigh.
That looked like it hurt.
It really bit him a good one. So Piedra Vista, they'll bring up the middle part of their lineup, and if they're going to get some damage done, it's going to happen right here.
Well, we got a comment here on Facebook from Addison Ramirez, and she says, "Let's go, Cade."
That's right, Cade, our guy there.
Cade has
the world of that kid.
A fan base out there. Man, he had a big night, or big afternoon yesterday afternoon. He had that huge double that drove in 2 runs, and and right when they needed it most, I remember he had a nice shot.
Did he ever?
Yeah,
2 RBIs.
2 RBIs, yeah.
And actually, at that point in time, it was tied up, so that was a huge 2 RBI double.
I'm sure
Cade.
Grandpa went back and watched that. Remember, he texted in and he had just missed that play.
That's right. But Cade, I mean, that kid can play some ball. We are so happy and excited to see him playing here on the varsity level, taking over at the catcher position where his everything brother was there in Turtle, Aragon. Goes off to college, playing for Colorado Mesa, and now insert Cade. And it's Cade's world right now behind the plate. So here we go. It's going to be Kyle Murphy. And did this kid have a lights-out game for Piedra Vista?
Yes, he did.
Hey, he only went 4 for 4 with the runs scored and 2 RBIs. So he's looking to keep this momentum moving. This kid is electrifying in left field as well as at the plate. Look at that.
Shot.
Finishes off where or keeps moving where he finished yesterday. That's a base hit out into right field.
Sure, Mom and Dad are proud of that young man as they are watching from home. They got us our first message in tonight, and there is Kyle with another base hit, just taking off where he left off last night.
So it's Cody Cluxton, the second baseman. And Cluxton last night for the Piedra Vista Panthers, he was 0 for 2, but he scored a run. And it was one of those runs that he drew a walk off of, and then Cade Aragon sent a blast out to the wall to score him. And that's going to drop down. If it stays fair, it's dropping down. And
Got
it's
it.
Fair.
Oh, that might score a run. No, it didn't get too far. So Murphy will make it to third. Oh, did he get him? Oh, the home plate umpire called him safe.
Slid in under the tag. He just beat it, it looked like.
No, here comes the coach, and he's already on the field. Nobody's even called timeout yet, and the coach is already on the field for Pueblo West. You know, I mean, honestly, there's no way this home plate umpire is going to change his call, and he may ask him to check with the other umpires, but everybody has responsibilities. The umpire that was at third base, his responsibility is second. The umpire over at first, his responsibility was the call at first. Nobody's going to overturn this call because the only one looking at the plate, at the bag at third was the home plate umpire, and he's safe.
Wow. So Kyle Murphy, Cody Cluxton, back-to-back base hits. Now they are standing on second and third with no outs, and who else but J.W. Bayless up at the plate. And this is another kid that comes up with hits or finds a way on base. Let's see what he can do here. And he's going to hit that one out. He's going to fall foul, I think. Yep, it'll be foul. down the third baseline. As that will bring the count to 0-1.
There's a fastball a little behind it, so he's got to get his hands moving a little bit faster, get that front foot down. It was still up in the air by the time he was swinging. So he'll adjust. We know this young man will adjust. He is a fine, fine hitter at the plate for Piedra Vista. It's an 0-1 count. Here comes a pitch. Fastball up. Actually, that was a changeup up high and out of the zone for ball one. So 1-1 the count, no outs, but Piedra Vista looking to break this wide open with JW if he can come up with a big knock here. Down low for ball two. So JW trying to dial in here at the plate, could really help his team out. Gets a base hit. I mean, you've got Clugston over at second. He's certainly going to score. That's a big shot. Nobody's getting to that. That's going to bounce off the wall. It does, and it's a double, 2 RBI for J.W. Bayless. And what did I say? He was a little behind on the fastball. His foot was still in the air. He was going to adjust to it. He got another fastball right over the heart of the plate. Timing was perfect, and he gives PV a 2-0 lead as he took that out for a ride in right field.
Man, he got a hold of that one. And that's what I'm saying. We've seen him hit that ball like that several times. Last year he had one over the fence in that same area, and he just took that right over the right fielder's head. He
crushed it.
And great job, 2 RBI double. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be hit right back up the middle. Oh, and the shortstop can't get a hold of it, and that's going to, oh no, he's not, oh, he should have sent him. But he holds J.W. Bayless up at third. And is that considered an error base hit?
I think, well, let's see what they charted. They give him a hit. I mean,
All
it's
right.
in the hole. It hit his glove, but you're either going to make it or you're not. We're going to give Cade a hit on that out to center field, and that will move Bayless over to third. So you got first and third with no out, and Tyler Swartz steps up to the to home plate. And Swartz, he was 2 for 3 yesterday in the game.
So they're bringing in number 9 as a courtesy runner for Cade so he can get back in the dugout and get his
Yeager.
Yeah, is that Yeager? Chris Yeager. And now we have Tyler Swartz up at the plate for the Panthers. The runners on first and third, and he's going to check swing that for strike one.
I don't know if I mentioned this in the broadcast. I think 2 days ago, we asked Martin Bayless what's going on with Yeager. Did I mention that he was fighting off a shoulder injury from football?
Yeah, you did.
So he's still trying to get healthy from that. And I think Bayless told me that he got a surgery on his shoulder.
He might have.
Or was looking to get surgery. I don't know, but it was a pretty serious injury for him. So 0-2 the count. Swartz back is against the wall. Now he's going to have to shorten up his swing and dig in. Here goes a pitch, off speed, and he does just that. He hangs in there.
We came around late on that one, kind of waited on it. Fouls it off back into the netting as the count will remain 0-2 with no outs. Runners on first and third. PV has now taken the lead with 2 runs here in this inning. Great hitting out of the Panthers in this inning. So it's going to be a high fly ball. Should be F3 for out number 1. And it will be, as unfortunately Tyler Swartz got underneath that one, went straight up in the air. And that'll be out number 1.
He just dropped his back shoulder, that's all. He's got to get that worked out, and he will.
Here comes Elias Barton. We've already said his name a few times this afternoon as he's had some nice plays out there at shortstop.
He's getting his first at-bat here, at least from didn't get any ABs in the yesterday's game, but getting some here. Taking off to second. There's the cutoff throw. Oh, they let it go all the way through. And beautifully done, sliding in safely with 1 out. Now, PV back in business. The force out is off. Double play is off the table. And now let's see if Barton can come through big. Was that a ball or a strike? I didn't see it.
I did not see it either. We'll get it up. There it is. It's a ball. Came up on the board. It's a good thing they're paying attention. We were too busy watching the game.
We're being fans over here yet again. That's in the dirt for ball 2. So 2-0 the count, and a nice job by the catcher for Pueblo West in Tack. able to keep that ball in front of him, or we're scoring another run from third. There's a ground ball, should score the run. It does, and gets the out at first, but still PV puts another run on the board after the 6-3 ground ball out RBI from Barton. Hey, got his job done.
You know, it's encouraging for PV. You know, they've left some runners stranded here this weekend in this tournament, but not tonight, man. They're bringing them across the plate. They have 3 runs now scored, and a runner now in scoring position on third base as Mason Courtney back up to the plate for the Panthers.
He got on in the bottom of the first inning by an error by the shortstop. He's going to take a fastball outside, foul it off, and the count goes to 0-1 on Courtney Mason. Got a good buddy over here. He used to be a baseball umpire and a football umpire, and a check swing fouls it off. Mason did not want that, but now he's down 0-2 in the count. And now he's going to have to play defense at the box.
Cade Aragon itching to come home. Courtney just needs to get a base hit here, and that can happen, and that's in there for strike 3. So Mason Courtney goes down looking, as that'll be strike 3 out. Number 3, so 3 runs on 4 hits. 1 runner left on base and no Cyclones error. So after 2 complete innings, your score is now 3-0 as the Panthers have taken the lead.
Heading into the top of the third, it's going to be 8-9-1 coming up to bat for Pueblo West Cyclones. That's Tack, Slauson, and Mendoza all coming up to bat for the Cyclones. It's a 3-0 lead as PV put up a 3 spot here in the bottom of the second inning. Flynn Hoops on the mound. And we got to wait till the catcher gets his gear on, and Cade Aragon was on base at third base, so he's got to get suited up, and we're set to go.
Well, folks, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a fun 3 days, and I know this is the last game for these 2 teams here tonight. We got one more this on the nightcap with Farmington and Durango, but we just wanted to say thank you for all the participation this week, and we've had a blast talking to people and actually getting to know some people. We've had several people come up and talk to us, and we just appreciate all of the well wishes and the compliments. It's been overwhelming, honestly, and all the people here in Farmington have taken care of us this last 3 days. Johnny Curry has been very helpful. He's the one that helped set up the coaches' interviews there on Thursday, and we just want to say thank you to everybody. I know we're probably going to leave people out, and even the Booster Club parents back here cooking hamburgers. We got some fuel for this game here. We needed some fuel, and they hooked us up, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game tonight if this weather holds up. In the fact of the wind, these boys deserve at least one nice warm game.
Yes.
For crying out loud.
Hey, we deserve one nice warm game, right? Yeah, we all do.
Let's have a conversation with Mother Nature and say, what is going on here? So we're set to go. It's the catcher, number 28, Keegan Tack, at the plate on the right-hand side of the box, facing the left-handed pitcher, and Flynn Hoops. There's a swing and a foul ball out of the field of play down first base side. Takes the count to 0-1. Yeah, I mean, we were kind of sitting here wondering where all the fans were for Piedra Vista. Well, they all started piling in here later on in the innings, and it looks like Pueblo West has some decent fans over there,
It's a pretty decent crowd out here this evening. You are right. Oh, that one hit the dirt in front of the batter's box, so that will be ball 1. That one got away from him.
1-1 the count. I wonder if that hit the umpire again. He kind of turned. I don't know. He got hit a minute ago. Now he might be a little gun shy out there, and I don't blame him. Here comes a pitch. Off speed. It was a beauty. Way out in front of it was Tack for strike 2. 1-2 the count.
Oh, man, Flynn Hoops looking good out on the mound tonight for the Panthers. As it's a 1-2 count 3-0 is your score. Panthers leading. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be low and inside for ball 2. But, you know, this Pueblo West team, you do not count them out. We saw what they could do last night as they had quite the game against the Scorpions.
Well, I don't have Tack charting an at-bat
Yeah.
in yesterday's game. So,
I don't think we've seen him yet. I think you're right.
I don't think he played at all. So here we go. He's worked the count to 3 balls, 2 strikes. And it's a big battle here now between Hoops and Tack, both digging in. You see who comes out on top. Ground ball to third base. Bounce.
Oh, hit his foot, I guess. Or
Yeah, I didn't hear a foul ball called at all.
I didn't either, but we'll have to see what happened when that replay comes up.
Well, they're going to say it's a dead ball, so we just must have missed the call by the umpire to stop play. Let's see if we can figure that out here in a second. Went right off his foot is what good buddy Donovan Garcia is saying over here. Steven's going to keep his eyes on that for a second, and here comes the pitch from Hoops. Got him.
Oh.
High fastball, got him swinging and struck him out. Here comes the play for us.
I didn't see it.
I did not see it hit anything, actually. I thought it hit the front of the, or up in front of the plate. And but hey, we're up here, they're down there. But
He felt something, that's for sure, because he was came out of there hobbling. So next up, number 5, Alex Slauson, as Tack goes down swinging for out number 1. So 1 out, no runners on. It is number 5, Alex Slauson, the right fielder for the Cyclones.
he hasn't charted an at-bat yet either.
He played yesterday, or I remember his name being on the lineup yesterday.
Probably because it was the first game they played against Grants. He got in.
Oh, okay.
He was
I remember
0
seeing
for
that
3
name.
against
Yeah.
Grants.
There's the pitch, and that's going to be hit. Cluxton can't get to it, so that'll be a base hit for Alex Slauson as he will end up over there on first base. We got a message in here from Mr. Page. He says, "Looking good, PV. Let's go, Trapper." Granddad's watching. They are doing a good job. Yes, they are. They are playing well right now. We agree.
2 base hits by Pueblo West. Both of them just squeaks by the diving Cody Cluxton, second baseman for PV. So here we go. It's back to the top of the lineup. It's the second baseman, Joe Mendoza, coming up to the plate, and he is 0 for 1. He flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Of course, right now we're in the top of the 3rd, so it's going to be his second at-bat. Flynn Hoops comes set. Not a big lead over at first, but usually when you have a left-handed pitcher, most of those guys don't get off very far. And so it's a ball high and outside. And it's 1-0 the count, 1 out and a runner at first. Let's see if Hoops can help himself out and get hit a ground ball double play. Big shot out to right field. That's going to be trouble. Coming in to catch it and dumping up. Got him.
Got
at
him.
first. What a play that was by Trapper Page. And
Hey,
didn't we just get a message in?
Mr.
Goodness.
Michael, there you go. You're in here watching the game and sending us messages, and you know what? Trapper just made it happen for you right there with a double play all on his own for the F9 out number 2, and then the 9-3 out number 3. So great job by Trapper Page.
Corey, well, you tell me the last time you seen that play from the outfield.
Yeah, you don't see that often, but
No.
man, he carried that momentum from right field on that play and just followed through, heads up play.
But you know what though? Like you could see him when he was running that down. As soon as he caught that ball, that was his first thought, was to get that thing out of his glove and go to first. And we've been talking about that this weekend, is the situational awareness by these players. And Trapper Page was all over that. I'll use my word, cerebral, very cerebral. He's having to chase down a ball and at the same time thinking about that guy on first. He's going to be off, waiting to see if I drop this. And as soon as I catch it, I got to get it to first, and he gets the job done. So nice play by Trapper Page.
It's going to be 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Piedra Vista. Page, Hoops, and Murphy. And Trapper Page is 0 for 1 off of a fielder's choice. He'll swing and foul this off out of the field of play. You know, I got to tell you, I really thought Joe Mendoza was going to sneak that down for a base hit and push that runner from first over to third. But Trapper Page, I don't know why I forget how fast that kid is. I mean, he can straight up fly.
Yeah, he got to that thing quick.
0-1 the count now. Big swing, fouled that one off. Trapper Page down in the count quickly and early. No balls, 2 strikes. This is one of the things about this Piedra Vista offense, though. They do not shy away from getting deep into the count and the back against the wall. They're completely comfortable taking check swing. They'll check it down to first base. They said no go, 1 ball, 2 strikes. But, you know, PV, this is what they do, man. They just kind of put 2 runs up, a run here, 3 runs there, and they just completely smother you offensively. Oh, that didn't miss by much either.
You're right. That's how this PV team works. They make you uncomfortable all the time. You just never know what's coming. But I mean, you look at this lineup. These kids, every one of these kids hits, and he's going to look at him right there. He's going to go down looking for strike 3. But I mean, there's a danger on this lineup. You can look at lineups. You can say, oh, these 4 kids are really good at hitting, and we'll see what happens with these other kids. But man, you go down this lineup, every one of them can come up with a hit at any time.
That's right.
So number 4, Flynn Hoops, will now step up to the plate for the Panthers.
He hit into a double play, inning-ending double play at his first at-bat, so he's 0 for 1. He'll look at strike 1. So Flynn digging in on the right-handed pitcher. It's a 3-0 lead for PV. There's a ground ball sharply hit to the shortstop, handled nicely. And does he make it look so effortless throwing the ball to first, or what does the shortstop and Javen Baca for Pueblo West?
I know, it just looks like he's playing catch, but that thing just sails over to first base. And you said it, that was a great play on the ball because it took kind of a crazy hop, and he just got it tucked up there and under his arm, caught it and got it over to first base. So that'll be out number 2. Not sure what discussion we're having here, but here we go.
3 players from PV out of the
gotcha.
dugout. So
Kyle Murphy, the guy that likes to get the hits.
Certainly so. He is 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored. He got ball 1, takes a big hack, fouls it off, so 1-1 the count. Now on Kyle Murphy, who is hitting cleanup for the Piedra Vista Panthers.
All right, comes the pitch for Matez, and that's going to be low inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kyle Murphy.
2 outs for Piedra Vista. Mares. Oh, that's a big shot out into left field, but right on over there for the F7 is Caden Garcia, and that will end the inning. And Mares comes in and makes quick work of the Panthers.
So no runs, no hits, no runners left on, and no errors. As that was 3 up, 3 down for the Cyclones, and that will bring up 2, 3, and 4. That's Blake Matez, Javian Baca, and Logan King for the Cyclones. But folks, what a game we are watching here. Go ahead, you got some?
Yeah, we got Grandma and Grandpa for Flynn Hoops checking in saying, we are so glad we get to watch the game. Go Flynn Hoops. Thanks, guys. And then we got, that's our guy. Martin Bayless said he had rotator cuff surgery in Jaeger, so that makes complete sense. So we got let's go Panthers, and guess who that is?
Is that our buddy
That's
Garrett? Yep.
Yeah, so he checked in. He's coaching in a tournament out in Aztec right now. And then, there's Cade's grandpa saying, darn it, guys, that's sad you're not coming to the tournament in Phoenix. But, we are sad about that, too, because we made that trip. That became our guys' trip for all 4 of us. But I got to tell you, it was brutal. I mean, we loved going there, but you're talking about we were up at 4 a.m. every morning driving an hour to get to the game. And then having, taken 2.5 hours to set up, depending on what cords we had to run, where do we have electricity, do we have to pull out the generator, It was wild down there, but we sure as heck enjoyed the heck out of that.
And the reason for that, Albert didn't mention that, the reason for that is because that we had to go to, well, last year it was only 2 different places, but the first year it was 3 different places. So we have to centrally locate our Airbnb because they play at high schools all over the area down there, and it was an hour each way, or even I think last year it was an hour and a half.
It was.
One of them was
the last game.
Yeah.
We hour and a half, and we were like, where are we at?
Yeah.
Like, are we lost right now, or what's happening?
And Albert's right. We'd get up at 4 so we could get there early, get set up, and then we wouldn't get home to the Airbnb till 9 or 10 o'clock, and we'd be up at 4 again the next morning doing it. But yeah, it was fun, but it was a lot.
2, 3, and 4 at the plate right now for Pueblo West. Mares, Baca, King, and Mares is 0 for 1 in the game thus far. It's his second at bat. He'll look at strike 1 in the way of a curveball.
Well, I'll wait till this one is over, and that's a swing and a miss for strike 1. When I say over, I mean that pitch. I got a message here. I think that's on an email here. It says, FYI, this proud papa would like to tout Alex's game yesterday. He batted 3 for 4, got 3 RBIs, and I believe stole a base. Go Cyclones. So he is cheering for his grandson, Alex Slauson. So was that yesterday or was that Thursday?
That had to have been the first game that
First
they
game?
played.
Okay.
I'm looking at my scorebook here.
Anyway, we appreciate you sending that message in, Mr. Slauson, as these kids love to hear their shout-outs on the air.
Well, that pitch just bit Cade pretty good. I don't know if he hit him on the hand or the forearm, but it got him a good one. And what is his name again?
Alex Slauson.
Okay, yeah, he played. He did play the first game.
I remember writing his name down on what am I trying to say, the lineup
on the scorebook. Yep.
But William just cheering on his grandson. I don't know what game that was, but thank you for that information, and it's very, very good to be proud of your grandson. So,
man, 1 and 2 the count, no outs. There's a ground ball. It's going to be a tough play. Fielded cleanly. Here's the big throw. Is it in time? It is. 6-3 ground ball out number 1, and that had to be a big throw by Barton, or he is safe at first in Mares.
Well, Barton is having quite the night, and I mean, the plays he's making aren't easy. He's coming up with some nice ground balls and just getting the job done, making it look effortless. Nice job, Elias Barton. And we'll have number 25, Javian Baca, now the shortstop, coming up to the plate. He is 1 for 1. He got a base hit back in the first inning.
Yep, he'll look at a fastball in there for strike 1. You know, I love hearing from all the grandparents. It almost chokes me up because I didn't get to know any of mine. You know, I got to know, I should say I got to know my great-grandmother and both of my grandparents on my mom and dad's side, but I never got to know a grandfather. So I never knew what it felt like to be a grandpa or to have a grandpa and, you know, just to get to talk to him and have a conversation. So, nonetheless, there's a ground ball. Cluxton fields it, bobbles it, grabs a hold of it again, and throws it over for first for the 4-3 ground ball out number 2.
That is great concentration because that thing popped out of his glove, but he still scooped it up, got it out, and got it over to first place for the 4-3 out number 2. Next up, number 10, Logan King, who pitched a gem last night. We were just a little disappointed when he didn't get to finish that game with an error there at the end, but he had a fantastic night. Nice hit out into left field, takes the first pitch, and Swartz will scoop it up and bring it in, as that will be a base hit for Logan King.
He wasted no time jumping all over that fastball.
You are correct.
So Caden Garcia will now step in at the box on the right-hand side. He struck out his first at-bat in the second inning. But he's got King standing over at first. And, you know, you're right. I completely forgot that happened to him last night. He would have had a complete game against the Farmington Scorpions. A couple of errors prevented that from happening, but it didn't take away from a great game that he pitched. There's a shot out in center field. Courtney fields that up front, hits his cutoff, and back-to-back base hits for the Pueblo West Cyclones. And, you know, hey, it's only a 3-0 game, so now you step in Hansen, the first baseman, who's 0 for 1. And things could get interesting here with 2 outs.
Yeah, and my key thing, I say all I've been saying it all day and all yesterday. This is where we see all the action happens. There's 2 outs, and all of a sudden the bats get going and things start happening. So PV needs to find a way to get this last out. Gavin Hansen at the plate. That was low for ball 1. Cyclones looking to see if they can't put a couple runs up on the board of their own, with a runner in scoring position over there at second. This is Logan King.
Well, you got to appreciate this umpire's quick strike call. There's no waiting from us.
I very much appreciate it.
Usually today we've been like, okay, there's the call.
Okay, there it is.
He's just quick strike. I love it. Big hook and curveball, and Hansen completely fooled on that pitch. He was way out in front of it.
That thing cut at just the right moment.
1 ball, 2 strike, 2 outs, but the Cyclones have 2 runners on base, 1 at first, 1 at second. Got him. What a big out and a big pitch that was by Hoops. Another curveball, and Hansen way out in front of it, struck him out for out number 3.
So there was no runs on 2 hits, 2 runners left on base, and no Piedra Vista errors, as Flynn Hoops stays calm on the mound, finishes it out, and no damage done. So we will be starting this bottom of the 4th inning, as it will be 5, 6, and 7. Cody Cluxton, J.W. Bayless, and Cade Aragon.
Boy, my eyes went blurry on me while I was trying to reading the lineup. I was like, please don't start yet. At least wait to the last game before I have to put my old man night glasses on. Of course, I need to put them on to see far away, not short. But
no need to worry. We have Corey over here. He can do all of the seeing numbers and anything we need.
I keep saying it earlier. I think we were trying to take a break during the Kirtland game because our voices were just going out of exhaustion, and I kept looking over to Corey. Hey, what does that say? What does this say? I can't even read it. So, yeah, you're right.
Well,
man.
we actually thought about just streaming and not broadcasting that last game because we were so exhausted. But I am proud to say we got through it, and it was cool. We had a lot of interaction with the fans. There was people messaging in, and we had one that was messaging us the whole game. It was a lot of fun. So here we go as we have Cody Cluxton stepping up to the plate. Here comes the pitch, and he will take that. It'll be a high fly ball. Should be an F6, and it will be F6 out number 1. And I got a comment here on Facebook. It's Matthew Lopez. It says, mud dogs, mud dogs, mud dogs. And then it says Boucher. That's what it says, Boucher.
Boucher, I love that. Man, that's our kind of person right there.
I love it.
We've been throwing those movie parodies around all the time. Right. And that's where I miss CR too, because he's right in the mix with that with me as well. There's a strike called against J.W. Bayless, who really got things popping for the Piedra Vista Panthers. He is 1 for 1. He got a stand-up double with 2 RBIs, and he'll take a hack and foul it off. So his back is against the wall with 2 strikes. But how many times have we talked about this, Stephen, with this Panther offense? They are not afraid to go down in an 0-2 count or a 1-2 count. They battle tough. And look at that. There's a ground ball. See if he can run it out. Fielded nicely by the second baseman. He fielded that so quickly, did the second baseman, and Mendoza, he had to wait for his first baseman to actually get over there and cover the bag in Hansen, and that's going to be 2 outs.
Yeah, good job. He didn't get in a rush. He made sure his first baseman was ready, got it over there, and that will be the 4-3 out. Number 2, next up, number 10, Cade Aragon, 1 for 1, had that nice base hit in the 2nd inning, and
this is my guy right here at the plate as well. I just can't. I am so happy for this kid being in a full everyday player for Piedra Vista. He's just worked so hard. Him and his brother, just hard workers. And then you throw in their dad, always at the cage with them, throwing them BP. If he's not available, they're throwing each other BP. But just an amazing family. I have 2 strikes. What do you got? Doesn't matter.
Yep.
There's a ground ball to the second baseman. what is it with the second baseman in Mendoza fielding things so quickly and having to wait on his first baseman? But great job to get 2 back-to-back outs by Mendoza to help his pitcher out.
Well, that's 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no runners left on base, no errors. And other than that second inning where PV came alive and they got their bats going, this has been a pitcher's duel. I mean, both these pitchers are coming out and getting it done. That's 3 up, 3 down, 2 innings in a row for Matez. And I was trying to see here. Oh yeah, that was just some nice base hits. There was no errors or anything. It was just good, solid hitting by the Panthers in that second inning is how they got those runs across. But yeah, Flynn Hoops, he faced 4 batters in the first, 3 in the second. So he was 3 up, 3 down for the second and third inning and faced his most batters in the fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batters in the fourth. So it will be 7, 8, and 9. Cam Matez, Keegan Tech, and Alex Slauson coming up here in the top of the 5th inning. Man, we are already in the 5th inning.
I know. We had a text message coming in from Robin Gonzalez. Says, go number 13. And you guys are doing a fantastic job broadcasting. You both need a vacation. I'm not going to argue with you there, Robin.
You know what? We'll take that.
I am going to agree with you 100% there.
Yeah. Well, we would even just take a day off at this point, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we're going to get one tomorrow.
That's
and it's
right.
going to be badly needed. But my voice, I got a feeling, is going to sound a lot like it is today. Scratchy and barely hanging on. But it's a 3-0 lead for the Panthers. And right now for this Pueblo West team, they found themselves here in this situation before, Steven. They weren't able to work out of it in the first game, but they sure were able to work out of it in yesterday's game.
Yeah, this like you can't count anybody or any team out in this situation because both these teams are coming to battle. Hey, you know what? I just thought we can go to dinner because thanks to our good buddies at Bloomfield, they came up and gave us a little gift.
That's right.
Very much appreciated.
Well, we got 2 gifts.
We
did.
2
gifts.
We got some baskets from Aztec, some little goodie baskets, and it was even went with my diet. So somebody knew. Somebody knew.
I knew what Steven likes. And then, of course, you're right. Such an amazing and heartfelt gift from Coach Valencia, his wife, and the baseball team, and the family there at Bloomfield High School. And gosh, we're just so appreciative of them over there as well. They've been good to us all year long, and Coach V, and couldn't be more proud of the program. My good close buddy and a brother of mine, and Coach Valencia is building out there at Bloomfield High School. Well, and we got to talk to Corrali. He thinks the world of what Coach V's doing over there at Bloomfield. He said, I think they're going to win. And then he caught himself, says they are going to win the district championship.
Yeah.
Yep. He's that good of a coach, and I tend to agree with that. But Kirtland, the way you've seen Kirtland play today is that's a 4-3 ground ball out number 1 to get Cam Matez out. Now coming up to bat, the catcher, number 28, Keegan Tack. But darn, Steven, you look how scrappy Kirtland is.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, how do you not get behind that ball?
I have tagged them as the blue-collar team. They just come out, put their heads down, get to work, and they're deceptively good. They grind away, as you called it, until they can grind out a win, and that's what they did in that last game. So good job by Kirtland in that last game. Here comes the pitch, and that one is high outside, I guess, for ball 1.
Yeah, I think Cade Aragon thought that wrapped around the back end of the outside plate, but it's called ball. And, that's a strike that time. Same pitch. Called a strike that time. But, one thing we love to see out here, Steven, we love to see down here in the stands, people are literally watching the game here, listening to us to a broadcast, watching it on their phone, but they're here in the stadium watching the game. I just love that.
It's a good way to get to see some replays if you didn't see something happen, but you can go back and watch it as it comes across the stream as it's a little delayed. But I was getting ready to say the same thing. We've had all kinds of people come up and tell us that's exactly what they're doing. Like, I got my headphones in, I'm watching the game, listening in, and so we appreciate that. Here comes the pitch. That'll be fouled off as that will bring the count to 1-2. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning as man, this has just been a pitcher's duel, and we see somebody coming back from the bullpen. Is that number one?
Sure looks like number 1.
Reynolds. That's Tony Reynolds.
Tony
Oh,
Reynolds.
is it? Okay, so he might be coming in to close things out. That went off the
Ouch,
shin.
I saw that one.
We certainly seen that one.
Ooh.
That hurts.
That
It's
went-
going to be a dead ball.
That
It
went
certainly
straight
went
down
off
and
the
then
front
came
of
off his leg.
Well, we got the video evidence here of it. It bit him good. I promise you that. We've seen every bit of that. You know, you brought this up earlier, Johnny Curry, Coach Gamboa, Isaac Gamboa, the head athletic director, the booster club for Farmington High School and the Farmington Scorpions. I mean, they have been so good to us these last 3 days, very gracious, feeding us drinks, asking us, do we need anything? And then, you know, this means a lot to us, man.
Yeah.
Showering us with praises, and it's not an ego thing. It's an appreciative thing that people notice the hard work that we're putting in, because I don't think a lot of people understand what we go through to bring a game to somebody in this live stream, and that's going to draw the – I didn't think he had 3 ball. He did.
I was going to say, he only had
I was
one
like,
ball.
wait a minute, did I miss something here? You know, and you know, like, I mean, gosh, we're 17 hours deep the last 3 days. And then we're going to be here tomorrow so we can clean up all of our stuff.
Yep.
So, you know, that's what we do with for these kids and these families. Oh, waited on the ground ball to come to him again. And, I mean, I got to tell you, every time an infielder waits on a ball, it pops up on him on the last second instead of stepping through the ground ball and throwing it over to first.
Yep. So that's unfortunate.
E4.
E4. And that will put Keegan Tack on first. Next up, number 5, Alex Slauson will step up to the plate for the Cyclones. And to going back to your point, and I don't say this for any other reason, but just to let you guys understand, like we're not getting paid by the school. We didn't even get sponsored for this event. We just came out here it's a labor of love for us. We just wanted to do this for the kids and the grandparents. You know, like we eventually do want to get to that point where we have enough sponsors that we can pay our people and we can have more production crew and all that stuff. But right now it's just the 3 of us, and we're making it happen the best that we can. That's in there for strike 1. But yeah, I just wanted everybody to understand that. And I don't say that for any other reason, but just to say, like, we just love doing this for you guys.
We sure do. And so much so we take vacation time to come
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this.
we do.
I mean, honestly, we took 3 days off last week of vacation time away from our family, 3 days off this week of vacation time so we could be here to call these games. Listen, we're not saying this to give sympathy. Number one, people need to know. We've heard some comments out there.
People ask.
In the public.
They want to know, yeah.
People want to know what's happening, and that's what we're here for. And so there's been a lot of comments out there. Oh, they got to be making. Oh, nice backdoor throw by Aragon. Wasn't too far off the base, but a great idea throwing backdoor down to first base, sliding in safely. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's said out there. And we just say out there to you all, if you ever have a question,
Come and ask us, yeah.
Just walk
Yeah.
up here. We'll be as open as we possibly can be to you. And got him, struck him out on the ornery curveball for out number 2.
Well, and going off of what you said, you know, just be paying attention. And when I say paying attention, be watching. I should say what I wanted to say is we're going to be doing a hot mic just with Albert and I, and we're going to get on there and we're going to talk about DSL, how it started, where we're at, what's happening, and all that. We got some fun things coming up, so just be watching for that. Hot mic has been a fun thing for us. That is ball 1. But yeah, folks, we appreciate all of you, and we love all of you coming and talking to us and telling us how much you enjoy it. But yes, thank you so much, so much.
There's a ground ball, high chopper to the shortstop, handled nicely by Barton. Gets the throw over to first in time. And the Panthers get out unscathed again as Pueblo West, and I'll let Steven call the numbers out here, but I want to call it and see how many times Pueblo West have left players on or runners on base.
So there was no runs on no hits and 1 runner left on base and 1 Piedra Vista error, as that will do it for the top of the 5th inning, as it Hoops only faced 4 batters. I'd be curious to know what his pitch count is. Maybe Martin can get us the pitch count, because Flynn Hoops has to be pretty low in this pitch count. He's not faced too many batters, but we'll have 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Piedra Vista Panthers.
That's right. 4 runners left on base tonight for the Cyclones, and certainly they'll have a conversation about that on the way home. But yeah, that might be a little bit of the difference right now, as it's a 3-0 lead for the Piedra Vista Panthers, and here with the Cyclones.
Dang it, I messed up my book. Sorry. Let me see if we have anything coming in. Nope, we don't have any comments. Folks, if you're out there, let us know you're out there. We want to hear from some people. We can see we got quite a few people on watching tonight, and he is going to foul that one off on that first pitch.
Yeah, that was a screamer right back at Coach. Tyler Swartz saying, you know what, Coach, I don't like all the cardio you've been making us do lately. Here's one right back at you, pal. I'm gonna see if you could get out of the way of it.
I'm going to give it back to you.
You know, I am so glad they got rid of the hard hat helmet rule for these coaches. That was probably one of the most ridiculous rules I've ever seen. And it's just so un-baseball-like to me. But I'm an old-school cat, so, you know, that might be part of the reason why I never liked it.
There we go. We got Tiffany Marie saying, let's go PV. Thank you, Tiffany. We hadn't had a comment in a while. That was going to be fouled off down the right field.
J.W. Bayless's mom.
Thank you, Tiffany. As J.W. doing a great job tonight for his Panthers.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Swartz after 2 foul balls. And now Marias is going to dig in here, facing Swartz, who's going to win the battle. Got him. Struck him out.
Yep, that was one you should have been swinging at right there. That looked good. But that'll be strike 3 out number 1. So Elias Barton will be coming up to the plate. Got Coach Gamboa back up here in the booth.
All right, finishing it out for us. I like it.
Yeah, all right. Let's get Coach Gamboa up here on a headset. We needed to hear from this guy.
It's Elias Barton now at the plate, the shortstop. He takes a curveball in the dirt for ball 1. 1-0 the count, 1 out. As we mentioned, 3-0 lead. That ball outside and down low for ball 2. Well, Coach,
I came up here to look at the. I came here to look at the views, not get mic'd up.
Hey, you walk in here, you know you're getting mic'd up, mister.
Well, you see Farmington and PV playing just about the toughest competition you can go up against in this tournament. Of course, taking on the Pueblo West Cyclones, who had a dominant win last night, and coming out here taking on this Piedra Vista offense, and taking on Flynn Hoops, the left-hander. I mean, you know Flynn Hoops for quite some time. I mean, isn't it nice to see these kids flourish and finally get up to this level and really make a difference?
Yeah, you know, I always tease Flynn. You know, he was a little tiny dude. He's still the same kid, very respectful, everything. When he was a little kid, he was ultra, like, very, very structured, very organized. And now to watch him play loose and have a successful season, it's fun to watch that growth. And Flynn's such a good kid, and watching him and a few other kids that I've coached when they're younger, it's making me feel old.
Well, Pueblo West, you guys have brought them in here. Is this the 3rd year now, or is it the 2nd year?
So their first year was the year before COVID, and then we had the COVID year where we played 2 games with them the year everything got shut down, and then so I want to say this is their 5th year. Smoky Hill, this was their 4th year, and Uinta, I found out today, has been coming since 1991.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that, but you know their names, especially Pueblo West, is becoming kind of those brand names that you're getting used to, almost like in the Connie Mackerel series with like the Midland Redskins, East Cobb, which obviously they're no longer here, but I mean, you get the idea.
Right.
Pueblo West coming in here. A lot of the people in this community know that team very well.
Yeah, and they, you know, I think the first year we had them here, they were back-to-back state champions out of Colorado. So Coach Sanchez always puts together a good team.
That's tattooed out to center field. I don't think anybody's getting there, and they don't. There's Mason Courtney. He's going to get a triple. Is he going to slide or stand up?
Oh,
He'll stand it up.
triple.
He
Mason
crushed that.
Yes, he did. Great hit by Mason Courtney. And guess what? There's 2 outs. All weekend long, 2 outs is whenever all the action starts. It has been a great time. So have you been getting to watch today?
Yeah, I've been off and on at softball. Softball games are going on, so I'm keeping up here. And
How's Farmington PV doing in the softball tournament? We haven't heard from anybody.
Yeah, we haven't gotten anything on the softball tournament.
So 5-game tournament, so everybody's gotten a lot of games in. Farmington PV, both doing really well. Both struggled against Silver, which Silver City is phenomenal. Those girls can play. We competed well. PV went into international tiebreaker rules and ended up losing to them. But really great tournament. 14 varsity teams, 12 JV teams. Big games. Big tournament over there.
Oh, great job by the third baseman for the 5-3. Out number 3, there's no runs on 1 hit, 1 runner left on base, and no Cyclones errors. So that's going to do it for the top of the 5th. 3-0 is your score. But go ahead, Coach.
No,
Well, you had, Kirtland, Bloomfield, Aztec, right?
So we had all the county schools.
Okay.
We also
Navajo Prep?
No, they were out this weekend.
Shiprock?
Shiprock was out this weekend. I think they went to the same tournament in Arizona, but we brought in Albuquerque Academy, Pewaukee, West Las Vegas. That freshman is really good. She can
West
hit.
Las Vegas?
Yep. She broke the home run record last year as an 8th grader. And we brought in Pewaukee, Santa Fe High. So a lot of really competitive teams. Silver City came up. So, and then to watch the JV kids be able to play 5 games here in town too was awesome. So
we had one of the Farmington High School JV guys up here on headset with us, the nephew of Corey over here. But it was fun to talk to him about, how excited they are in playing in this tournament, and what does it feel like? And he said, "Man, it's just awesome. It gives you." You're not seeing the pitching that you see on the varsity level, but we're over there competing. We're playing these same teams out of town. We're not just beating each other up all season long, which we forget about that in on the JV realm of these teams constantly playing Aztec, Bloomfield, just beating each other up.
Some years you'll see a Farmington PV C team schedule that has each other 5-6 times on there. And then if you play each other at a tournament, you're going to play each other a 7th or 8th time as well. So I'm glad. I wish we can bring a C team tournament here. Just finding dates is not easy to do.
Well,
tell us about that, right?
Yeah. Well, we got a comment here, and I just wanted to read this one because it's Courtney Peace, and she said, "Let's go PV. Miss these days." Yes, Courtney, we saw Wayne here last night, and remind me what's their son's name? Caden. That's what I thought. I didn't want to say the wrong name, but Caden Peace. We used to get to watch him out there on first base, and he was a great player for PV as well. And we miss seeing you guys out here at the ballpark whenever we come out. But thank you for that comment.
Caden, huge dual sport athlete.
Yes, great football player as well. But we saw him. I got to wave at Wayne. He was down in the stands here last night. So good to hear from you guys.
Well, Farmington, and I don't know why we didn't know this. Maybe you told us and we just forgot. But the Scorpion Invite has 5 games a day, where PV's Invite only had 4. What was the mix up there? Were there a couple of teams dropping out? Or was it a first-time?
Was that just how it goes?
Invitational kind of situation?
So there was a scheduling conflict. There was a team that dropped, so we replaced them, and the coach, the new AD came in, said, "Hey, the coach committed to this. Can we get back in?" I said, "Well, with this number of teams, I got to work some magic, see if I can guarantee everybody 3 games." So that's kind of why we went to the matchups, try to equal competition, get away teams out earlier, but also we had the odd team out, so we ended up having to play 5 a day.
Yeah, we wondered what happened with that, because we were like, wow, 5 games a day? All right, how are we going to do this with our voices, number one? You get
here we are.
But it works out. I mean, you're getting a ton of games in, and to be able to bring in the level of play like a Pueblo West, Smoky Hill, we talked to somebody that had coached. He came up here and talked to us, and he said, man, we used to come to these tournaments all the time from Cherry Creek.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and I'm like, whoa, whatever happened with that team? They used to be here all the time.
And coaching summer ball, Cherry Creek was always tough.
The 4th of July tournament here at the Connie Mack tournament, yep.
Hey, you got to shout out Mariah Velarde. Go Pops, go Pops.
Oh, that's from that's
Benny.
That's
Yeah,
my
that's your-
sweet. I call her Baby B. That's my granddaughter.
She's
Tuning
cheering
in.
you on out there. He needs some cheering on. And Mark Bayless did get us that pitch count. It was 71. I'm sure that was before Flynn came out in this inning. I guess I missed those ones above there. Let's see. Oh, right there, you got more. I didn't get the rest of it. So proud of you, Pop. You and Coach Parks have done an amazing job throughout this tournament. Thank you and your whole team for everything you've done. It's been a pleasure watching, and all the fans and the skill set each of these players have. A lot of heart and grit shown and left out on the field this tournament.
Wow.
That's your
Lovely
daughter.
words from my sweet daughter, Mariah. There's a double play. Got him out.
6-4-4-3 double play to end the inning. So great job by the Panthers, as that was 3 up, 3 down as well.
It sure was. You know, I also, we like this 2-hour, 10-minute time limit. You know, where did that idea, the thought process come from that? Because, you know, gosh, if you let these teams play a full 6 or 7 or whatever they're playing it out,
Right.
you're going to be here till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right. And so, I mean, that's part of it. Getting them out on Saturdays are always a tough thing. I mean, Uinta's got, an 8-hour drive back home. So you want to get them out as soon as possible so they don't have to spend another night on hotels. Same with Pueblo West. So the 2-hour time limit is that, but you also got to account for any weather. If weather hits and you got to move to another facility, the only way to get back on track is to have a time limit. So next year we're hoping to get a couple more teams added to either the PV or Farmington tournament. I know Cherokee Trails wants to come down.
Oh, heck
They're
I don't want to put any business out on the streets, but we talked to Corey Gropp. Is that a possibility?
from Cobra,
Yeah.
So he's
Okay.
reached out as
All
well.
right.
Yeah.
He hit us up
Yeah.
today. We're like, hey, we got an insight on Coach Gamboa. We'll put a word in for you.
Hey, here's a shout out to Coach Gamboa. Look at that. Gamboa is one of the best coaches I've had. That's coming from Turtle, Aragon.
Yeah.
That's our guy right there, Turtle, man. I miss watching that kid play on the field. You know, every time that kid stepped on the field, I got excited because you never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
He was electrifying. He was going to make something always happen.
And tell you that kid, he came out his 8th grade year. He was just different. His work ethic was different. His mentality, his approach was just different. And so you knew there was something special in that kid. And he had a good 5 years in this program. So I'm glad to hear he's doing well.
You know, talk to us about these new athletic directors. I call them new. I should say a new position. Full-time position with the full-time name, I guess the title, and Johnny Curry and Dawn Keenest. I mean, we become good friends with Dawn. Of course, I know her from my daughter is married to her nephew. And so I've got to know her really quite a bit. But, man, they both have just been so open to help us here and bring what we do to these kids. But talk to that about a higher level of what they do at the schools and, you know, how happy are you to have them both underneath you and working alongside you?
So the first thing I told them when they took on that job, I'm like, whatever you think this job is, it's not. It's not all.
Think twice, huh?
It's not all games and rainbows and sunshine. It's your day-to-day is never the same. You're dealing with discipline most of the time. You're dealing with issues that randomly come up. Every day is different, but the rewarding part is you get to see this. The end product is kids out on the field playing, and so my message to them, and it comes straight from our superintendent, is we always do what's best for kids. And
Did he rung
yeah,
him
he
up?
did. And that was
He did, didn't he? He just called
Yep.
strike 3. Wow, okay. Sorry about that, Coach.
Yeah,
I
no.
was a little taken back by that.
Yeah. So no, we're always trying to do what's best for kids. And we're not perfect. We're human beings, but if we always are on the side of doing what's best for kids, then we're doing the right things. But so to tell you what their day-to-day looks like, couldn't tell you because Monday's going to be different than Tuesday.
Well, you picked two of the right people. I mean, I was talking to Johnny today, and he was just talking about how he loves just speaking life into the kids when he has the opportunity, and he's really helped us out here this weekend, and it was just good. He has a great attitude about what he's doing, and and Donna, she always comes up and gives me and Albert a hug, and it's great to be around both of them. So.
And we're really, when I first started, guys, I think it's been 5 years now. I did monthly leadership with the kids from both schools, brought them together. Johnny and Don are taking off on that, and just, when you're a kid in high school and you're trying to figure things out and conflict happens, how we want to try to help them teach them, like, here's how you would deal with this situation maybe, and you have a problem with a coach, maybe talk to the coach this way. And so he almost beat that out.
There's some great defense happening. And sorry, I just had to say it because these shortstops are doing a phenomenal job. The second basemen have got a lot of plays. That's going to be 3 up, 3 down once again. This game is moving quickly. We are in the top of the 7th. Sorry, Corey, I said it. It's the top of the 7th. Come on, man. I can say it now. It's not the 4th inning, okay? It's not the 4th.
Pueblo West has got 3 outs left to make something happen, down 3.
I waited till it didn't matter, okay?
Well, we got to talking to Johnny Curry, the athletic director for Farmington. We loved the message that he was putting out there. He said, I asked him, what is the focus right now for you over at Farmington High School? And he says, bringing back and
the
keeping
tradition,
the tradition
culture,
at Farmington High School.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
I loved hearing that.
And so we've been talking a lot about culture and reconnecting with this generation because kids have changed a little bit.
A little?
They brought in Reynolds to pitch.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got a new arm. So, a lot of parents have seen a survey I sent out, and we got a pretty good response on what's important, principles and values and things they want to see their kids find in a program. And so we're connecting the whole town. Our principals are going to follow the acronym of Our Town, and each one's going to have a meaning for this is Farmington, New Mexico. We're one town. We may wear different colors, but at the end of the day, we're one community. And when we all graduate, we're all going to contribute back to this community some way or the other. So we're trying to build that culture within the schools and emanate it throughout the community. So it's coming. We'll start rolling that out here as the summer kicks off. And we have T-shirts and wristbands and coins and stuff to give out to the kids. And each one will have a little curriculum that we teach the kids. And each school has their own little acronym that ties into our town principles. So finding just that sense of belonging for the kids in the program and in our town. So
yeah, it's a lot of great things. I mean, we talked about all the good things that are going on, with what's happening with the fields and the lights and all that stuff.
Right.
But there's also those things that are going on that are probably the most important things that are happening, as it's touching the lives of these kids and helping them build something that we really do need with this generation. We do need to reconnect with them. I mean, it's just a different world that we grew up without all the technology. We're kind of we came from the analog into the digital. That's all they've ever known, and it's a really cool thing.
Remember when you can just check your messages when you got home?
Yes. Yeah, you push the little button on the phone. Yeah, there's a little recording. Yeah,
little voicemail recorder.
Yeah,
a little box sitting on top of the counter. Oh, those were the good old.
We're showing our age now.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, you have to be so happy the way this tournament has worked out. These teams, speaking right now at Piedra Vista, Pueblo West playing right now. And, we talked about Pueblo West's attitude and their coach's attitude, the kids' attitude when they're out on the field, and it's just top notch.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. This coaching staff from Pueblo West really has these kids dialed in. They're really connected with them, and you see it out on the field, and we hope you guys continue to keep bringing in teams just like this with Pueblo West, because you got all these teams. I talked to every one of the coaches. I'm good friends with them just like you are, and every one of them said There's a fly ball to second base. Clugston should haul that in pretty easy. F4 for out number one.
And they did bring in Reynolds to close out this game. Flynn Hoops pitched a tremendous game.
He did.
And they brought in Reynolds to close it out in this last inning.
You know, we talk about that. I mean, every one of them saying we want to play Smoky Hill. I mean,
Right.
give us these better teams that are coming in here. Because like we said, everybody's beating up
Right.
everybody all the time. So hopefully you guys continue to bring more better teams in. Is there any other announcements you got coming out?
No, nothing. Nothing that we hadn't already talked about. But it's we do thank the teams that come in and represent well, and we always offer them back. And it's hit or miss because you don't. Sometimes when we first invited Pueblo, we didn't know who they were.
And now everybody knows them.
And you know they've represented well. And you went to, I mean, like I said, they've been, as long as I've been up here, they've been coming to this tournament. And Coach
Such a
DeCall
good
is
team.
amazing.
We had a ball calling their games this week.
Yeah.
Ground ball, tough play, fielded properly.
Nice.
Here's the throw, beautiful. And just playing some tough shortstop Barton again. Beautifully, perfectly played. Glove to hand with the baseball throw over to first. And one more out. PV's going to close out an undefeated tournament, invitational. 3 wins here. They got 1 out to go. Do you ever miss this stuff, Coach? You ever miss coaching?
Absolutely, I miss. I mean, there's days when it's snowing and windy, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, I'm good.
yeah,
Our last 2 days,
Yeah.
you mean?
yeah. Because it's never spring sports, right? Until probably May. But no, just being able to work with the kids and really, that's gonna,
Shot, that's going to fall in.
yeah.
So that'll be a base hit for Cam Mata here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th, and they have to score 3 runs to keep, well, I don't know where we are on the time limit. Well, we got to, I mean,
They've
they
gotta
can take
finish,
it
yep.
into extra innings. But at this point, I don't think it would matter because you got Farmington in the late game. So, but yeah, they're going to have to score 3 runs if they want to take this into extra innings. Well, I shouldn't say extra innings, I guess, because PV would have the last bats, right?
Right.
So, anyhow, they have to score 3 runs.
Fun part about coaching is finding when you see it click for a kid. That's the best part of coaching, and it can be anywhere from finding success on the field to just, okay, now I know why coach is on me all the time. That to me is the part I really miss.
I'm glad you mentioned that because we seen that in one of the kids that plays for Kirtland Central, number 16, Jordan Davis. I mean, that kid came on so strong in this tournament. Did he not, Steven? And I got a chance to talk to Coach Bevel outside the press box just a little bit ago, and we couldn't have been more proud of him. But it just clicked in this tournament.
Yeah.
Man, so look at Pueblo West now as they've got runners on first and second. And we have number 5, Alex Slauson, coming up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. This is one of the dangerous ones when they're 0 for on the day. They're due for a hit. So
Yeah.
Well, you've got Zach Swesper warming up, getting hot.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it. I was going to say they might bring Zwesper in relief, but right there, F6 ends it, and PV goes undefeated. 3 wins in the Scorpion Invite. And, Coach, we couldn't be more thankful for you to come up here and talk to us, and let me figure out this really.
yeah, we always enjoy. If you come in here, we got a headset ready for you. You don't get to sneak in here and just watch the cool.
I wanted
big
to see the
screens.
camera because on your phone it looks way different.
Yeah,
so.
it looks really awesome on that
Yeah.
screen right there. You should see. Sometimes we're just looking at that TV to see the next pitch. But
Well, I think this morning you said, I really want to get in on this view, and I was like, I got to see what it looks like up here.
Well, now you see. That's what the TV I'm looking at over there. It looks great, but I know it looks a little smaller it looks small on the phone, but we have just been nothing but blessed these past few days. Everybody has been so kind and even patient with us whenever we don't get a camera switch right. Corey, just kidding. Just kidding. But no, thank you for letting us come and do this. We very much appreciate it. And it was cool. Like Johnny came in this morning and we had a great conversation talking about next year and what we can do better. And he gave us some great suggestions. And
I call him the Godfather.
Yeah, the
He's
Godfather
the one that
of
brought
streaming.
all of this.
Yeah.
He really did. Nobody was doing this here really in New Mexico,
No.
especially up here. So he kind of laughed and said, "Oh," but I was like, "Man, you're the one brought it here.
Yeah.
I'll call you the
Yeah.
Godfather, pal."
Well, folks, that's going to do it. Oh,
got
yeah,
our,
we got to get our player of the
Desert
game.
Sports Live
That's
player
right.
of the game, and that's going to go to the winning pitcher. Number 4, Flynn Hoops is going to be our player of the game. Desert Sports Live player of the game.
I want to give an honorary mention to Elias Barton, as that kid was killing it out there at shortstop tonight for the Panthers.
Well, let's go co-player of the game then, as the winning pitcher in Flynn Hoops. Number 4 is co-player, Desert Sports Live player of the game, and alongside him, number 13, Elias Barton at shortstop with his defensive
Great
play.
defense. Yep. Well, folks, that's going to do it. We're going to wrap it up. We got to go get some bathroom breaks and maybe throw some food down real quick. Get ready for this last game of the tournament between the Farmington Scorpions and the Durango Demons. We'll be right back.